Ladies and gentlemen, America's ambassadors in blue, the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. One of the most universal Indian legends is that of the Thunderbird, a great and invincible power that flew from heavenly heights. Its flashing eyes and thunderous speed warded off danger. The legend lives.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your United States Air Force Thunderbirds are extremely pleased to be with you today. You see the Thunderbird maintenance crews and Thunderbird pilots beginning their march out to their respective aircraft. And we sincerely hope that you will enjoy today's demonstration. You see positioned before you the pilots, maintenance crews, and 6 F-16s to be used in today's demonstration. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the flying demonstration.
These men train extremely hard to perfect their combat flying skills in the world's most advanced fighters. They're here today to show Americans like yourself what their skill and courage behind an incredible performer like the F-16 Falcon means to America. Let's check it out firsthand and go for a high-powered ride.
Thunderbird, check 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Let's run them up. Thunderbirds, release brakes. Ready now. Now.
At this point, these aircraft are generating more than 100,000 pounds of thrust.
Clear now. Four goes up. Four's in. Ease forward.
What you are about to see is wondrously beautiful. But keep in mind, behind the beauty of each maneuver,
6 on the roll.
the Thunderbird pilots are constantly executing the diverse and intricate combat flying skills taught to every Air Force pilot during their training.
Six is over the top.
Now to your right, the Thunderbird pass and review. This pass will allow you to see the tightness of the diamond formation, providing an excellent angle for photographs. Thunderbird 6 will now demonstrate the rapid roll capability of the F-16.
Aileron rolls.
His roll rate will exceed 300 degrees per second. Now, Thunderbird 6 with 4 maximum performance aileron rolls. Approaching from your left is the arrowhead formation. Watch as the Thunderbirds arc through the sky, much like the path of an arrow. The Thunderbirds and the arrowhead roll.
Into the float. Slowly. Look off ready now.
The solo pilots are entering to perform opposing 4-point rolls.
8,000 smoke.
At show center, each pilot will complete a 360-degree roll, stopping precisely at each 90-degree point.
Hit it. And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. Roll out.
From your left, you will see the diamond formation approaching for the diamond roll.
Smoke on ready now.
Watch the ballet-like precision as each wingman maintains perfect position on the leader.
Rolling left and rolling.
The graceful diamond roll.
Into the float. Slowly.
Look directly ahead and you will see the two solos approaching for the crossover break. And now, the breathtaking crossover break. To your right, the Thunderbirds are now in trail formation. It is a difficult maneuver to fly as any movement ripples down the formation. During the pull, the leader will call for a change into the diamond. The wingman and slot pilot will then move swiftly and smoothly to their diamond positions.
Diamond ready now. Into the float. Power's in. Over the top 7-2, 180. Back into the ball. Easing forward.
Behind the precision flying and the admiring crowd is a large, talented corps of specialists and support people who keep the pilots and planes performing on time. In fact, in their more than 30-year history, the remarkable Thunderbird support crews have kept pilots and planes performing at nearly 100 air shows annually. Not to mention the 100,000 miles plus of travel between show sites, without cancellation or curtailment of a single air show due to maintenance difficulties. Call it what you will: dedication, skill, teamwork, esprit de corps, or attention to detail. They all fit. It's why any team member will tell you, once a Thunderbird, always a Thunderbird.
Thunderbird 5 has just demonstrated tactical surprise, the ability of a small, extremely maneuverable fighter to enter a target area undetected and safely exit at high speed. Now, look to your right to see the Thunderbird Diamond with gear and flaps extended as they slow to landing speed. They will fly the length of the demonstration area, showing
And you
the
see
F-16
Solo diving on the far horizon in hot pursuit of the diamond.
in a moment.
Though it's hard to detect Solo's profile, he's there, and coming at a closure rate in excess of 10 miles per minute.
6,000.
His challenge? Catch the diamond right here at Show Center. Impossible? Let's see.
2,000. 1,000. Show center.
Solo was now pulling 5 times his body weight in G-force. And yet under such pressure, he must precisely execute complex and ever-changing angles and airspeeds to overtake and slide smoothly into formation with the Diamond. The Thunderbird air demonstration is designed to test men and aircraft to the upper limits of their capacities. You might call it a proficiency test of the red, white, and blue. Let's watch several key moments that further demonstrate the proficiency of these men and their advanced aircraft.
Max turn.
Solo enters show center and, banking sharply, executes a high G turn of 360 degrees with a diameter barely wider than 3.5 football fields. A demonstration of why the F-16 is considered the world's most maneuverable fighter. Now the Diamond formation from the opposite direction, making the same maneuver. Only this time with an added dimension. A wingtip to wingtip formation. To sustain a precision formation while in a continuous high G force requires exceptional pilot physical condition, coordination, and proficiency.
Smoke off ready now.
Thunderbird 6 enters again to perform the maximum climb. In seconds, the F-16 climbs from ground level to over 12,000 feet, demonstrating the tremendous thrust and rolling rate of the F-16. Now, combining all the skills and performance into one sensational finale, the Thunderbirds' most popular maneuver, the bomb burst to the crossover.
There's 4. Step by brakes. Let's brake ready now, smoke. And hold. Right on the line. 10-2, 200.
Converging from the 4 points of the compass at a closure rate nearing 1,000 miles per hour, each of the 4 pilots must continuously and accurately compensate for winds and relative position by changing airspeed and direction as needed.
5 seconds. 400. Down 100. Visual 3. Got you one.
The difficult, made to look easy. Another good one complete. This man and his team are tired but happy. However, their day probably isn't complete. To quote another American of kindred spirit, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And so, a brief rest before off to tomorrow's show site.
There you go. You have big time right back?
Late as it is, it's time for one more pass. This one's special. A salute from all Thunderbirds, past and present, to the land they love and serve so proudly.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron takes pleasure in performing for you this, our 26th flight demonstration of the season. This is Lieutenant Cliff Skelton, narrator for the Blue Angels. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have had the rare privilege of demonstrating to the American public the precision techniques of naval aviation, hoping to inspire our young men and women to pursue careers in the United States Navy and Marine Corps. The maneuvers you will see demonstrated here this afternoon are coordinated tactical techniques developed by Navy and Marine pilots, both in peacetime training and actual combat. These maneuvers are neither stunts nor daring feats, but refinements of basic techniques taught to every prospective naval aviator. Here at Moffett Naval Air Station, we will be demonstrating these maneuvers at a very low altitude in traditional Blue Angel formation so that you may see and take pride in the precise fashion in which your Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to fly. Now, direct your attention to the ramp before us. Observe the military manner in which the 6 demonstration pilots approach their aircraft and are saluted by their crew chiefs. From the right, the Blue Angel Diamond is rolling. As they pass before us, you will notice the smoke is not visible while the aircraft are in afterburner. As the airspeed increases, the pilots experience 4 times the pull of gravity required to round out the backside of this looping maneuver. To the right, Blue Angel number 5 is rolling. He will accelerate to 170 miles per hour and climb to an altitude of 50 feet. He will then roll his aircraft 360 degrees with the landing gear extended. The dirty roll on takeoff. Retracting the landing gear. He rolls his aircraft 360 degrees and continues to accelerate to 300 miles per hour. Pulling back on the stick, he climbs straight up into the vertical. Let's watch as he goes over the top at an altitude of 3,000 feet and an airspeed of 150 miles per hour. On his back now, completing the 1/2 Cubanade on takeoff, Lieutenant Mullner will pass before us and exit the flight line to the right. The Diamond will momentarily be making its approach to the flight line from the right. In relatively slow speed flight, they will give you an opportunity to take a close look at that very minimum 36-inch wingtip to canopy separation that exists between these 4 aircraft. From the right, the Blue Angel Diamond. Approaching center point, Lieutenant Commander Anderson and Lieutenant Mullner will roll their aircraft into a 90-degree angle of bank and push forward on the stick as they perform the opposing knife edge pass. At 400 miles per hour, the Diamond roll. All 4 aircraft rolling as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver. Over the top, you get a planform view of that tight Blue Angel Diamond. Opposing inverted pass. In order to demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of these F-18s, Commander Root has called for the extension of the landing gear as they perform a maneuver attempted by no other jet flight demonstration team in the world today. The Diamond Dirty Loop. time, Lieutenant Molnar from the right and Lieutenant Commander Anderson from behind the spectator area. Let's watch as Lieutenant Molnar performs a maximum performance, minimum radius afterburner turn. And Lieutenant Commander Anderson climbs his aircraft straight up into the vertical to demonstrate the vertical climb and roll capabilities of these McDonnell Douglas F-18 Hornets. Demonstrating the left echelon roll. This is a particularly difficult maneuver, especially for Lieutenant Commander Pat Walsh in Blue Angel number 4. As they slide from left echelon to a trail position and back into the traditional Blue Angel Diamond. To the left, Lieutenant Commander Anderson and Lieutenant Molnar have established a mirror image formation. But look carefully, for both aircraft are in the carrier landing configuration as they approach for a maneuver we call the Fortis. This time, however, you should notice one significant modification. While Blue Angels 2, 3, and 4 still maintain that minimum wingtip to canopy separation, the flight leader is upside down. The Blue Angel single farvel. Behind the spectator area, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are approaching in a line abreast formation at 400 miles per hour. Approaching center point, they will perform a maneuver to demonstrate the turn radius of these F-18s. The opposing minimum radius turn. Let's watch as both pilots now sustain 6 times the pull of gravity required to cross their aircraft directly over center point. Diamond pilots are now stacked down and aft on a 45-degree bearing line, establishing a right echelon formation. From the right, at 350 miles per hour, the Blue Angel Echelon Parade. Approaching center point, they will roll their aircraft 270 degrees and cross over center point with minimum separation. Ladies and gentlemen, the tuckaway cross. To the left, the 4 Diamond pilots are still maintaining that right echelon formation. Approaching center point, Commander Rude will commence a climb and a 360-degree rolling maneuver. After 270 degrees of roll, they will smoothly shift the formation back into the traditional Blue Angel Diamond. This is the changeover roll, a precise transition from echelon against the beautiful California sky. Changeover roll complete to the right. Let's watch as they climb into the vertical to set up for their next maneuver, the line abreast loop. Approaching center point, they will climb straight up into the vertical, experiencing heavy G as the airspeed dissipates. Still maintaining minimum separation, the pilots must now align themselves by looking 90 degrees from their flight path toward Commander Rude's aircraft. Over the top at 7,000 feet, the power is eased as the aircraft round out the backside of this 5-plane line abreast loop. Commander Rude calls for another formation change prior to detaching Blue Angel number 5. To demonstrate the tactical roll rate of these McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornets. Approaching center point, Lieutenant Commander Anderson will perform a series of maximum stick deflection horizontal rolls. Before us. Approaching center point, he will climb the formation straight up into the vertical. Reaching 90 degrees nose up, the Diamond will split, all 4 aircraft exiting in separate directions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel vertical break. Approaching center point, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees, pausing after each 90 degrees of roll, and passing over center point in the inverted position. From the left and right, the opposing 4-point hesitation roll. In left echelon, each pilot will roll his aircraft 270 degrees in ripple fashion, take separation, and rejoin Commander Rude in the Diamond formation. Center point, they will roll their aircraft 270 degrees in section. Ladies and gentlemen, the double tuck-over roll. Let's watch as Commander Rude calls, ready, break. Commander Root is now called for our 2 solo pilots to join the Diamond for the Delta aerobatic portion of our flight demonstration. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Delta roll. All 5 wingmen maintaining position on the leader as they roll 360 degrees over center point. As they commence the reversal turn, our 2 solo pilots will change the formation and now maintain their position on the wings of Lieutenant Commander Walsh in the slot. This shift produces a formation we call the Double V. Very shortly, all 6 aircraft will be approaching for the Blue Angel fleur-de-lis. From the left, at 450 miles per hour, the Blue Angel fleur-de-lis. Rendezvous complete. The Diamond will pass before us and exit the flight line to the right. Watch closely as Commander Root calls smoke on, ready, break. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron represents a time-honored tradition of pride, professionalism, and excellence spanning 76 years of naval aviation. The team takes a great deal of pride in saluting Navy and Marine pilots, maintenance crews, and support personnel everywhere. On this 4th of July, the Blue Angels are very proud to dedicate our flight demonstration to the men who gave their lives for their country. From the right, in salute to the prisoners of war and those missing in action, the Blue Angels. One of the most unique demands placed on a naval aviator is that he be able to land his aircraft upon a ship at sea, whether it be a tactical jet, a propeller-driven aircraft, or one of our helicopters. Each requires a special skill that the naval aviator must master. In order to perfect this technique, Navy and Marine pilots spend a great deal of time in the landing pattern practicing carrier approaches. Very shortly, Commander Root and all the demonstration pilots will be performing a carrier approach. Rolling out on final, he makes one last check of the crosswind, one last lineup correction, and adjusts his power to maintain the optimum rate of descent for the proper touchdown point.
for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shine.